So okay, we start. I hope everything is fine. PPT is also visible. Yes sir. No. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just 5 minutes. I'll put the slide what you've seen yesterday. There are two plastics, thermoplastics and thermosets. Thermoplastic can be reused. Thermoset cannot be reused once the polymerization cross-linking takes place. So you have to remember some of the examples for thermoplastics and thermosets, like a phenolic, polyester, polyamide, epoxies, are example for thermoplastic. Thermosets, nylon, polypropylene, polyether imide, polyether sulfone, polyether ketone. Those are the examples for this one. Hand layers, it is mainly used for small production. It is less costly. So normally, alternatively, the resin as well as fibers are laid into the mold. These are some of the examples you have discussed. This is the boat picture. This is the automated layoff process machine. It's a huge machine. And one more variant of hand laying process is spray layoff process, where chopped fibers and resins are sprayed alternatively or simultaneously on mold surface. There is one more type of production process, the bag molding process. The main purpose of bag molding is the preparation of the mold will be very difficult. It will be more costly also. Even for the sand, regular sand mold, it is not costly. But when you go for metal molding, it will be very costly, especially for laminar composite. There may be some entrapped air between the lamina. Over a period of time, those may be defect may causes failure of the composite. For that, you have to remove the entrapped air between the laminas. So laminas are nothing but a preprex. It has both reinforcement material as well as matrix material, but semi-cured or uncured state. The resin is in the semi-cured state or uncured state in lamina. Only one after application of heat, it will be cured at higher temperature, not at room temperature. To remove entrapped air, you have to keep the complete set of laminas. Like you are keeping books around 10 books, one above the other, to get required thickness for the laminate. Lamina is single. The laminate is, it consists of many laminas joined together by the composite production process or by the curing process. To remove the entrapped air, it may be connected to the gas, pressure, the compressor. Then it is referred as pressure bag molding, or pressure is applied to squeeze out all entrapped air, or it may be connected to vacuum pump to suck or to remove the entrapped air between the laminas. So based on that, either it may be pressure bag molding or vacuum bag molding. The bag is an enclosed chamber, the flexible chamber. It is not a container, steel container or aluminum container. It is like a tarpaulin-like material. It is an airtight chamber. It can resist some amount of heat also, because the hot air is fast. Because heating is required for laminas or raw material, so that amount of heat is to be able to withstand. So it's having good high melting point temperature. So it is almost like a tarpaulins, but having higher melting point temperature. It can withstand high temperature, but it is airtight. So then, instead of going for vacuum bag molding or pressure bag molding for sophisticated aerospace component, then you have to go for autoclave processing. There we have complete control over the pressure, the temperature, the vacuum, how much amount of vacuum is created, how much amount of pressure is built up, everything. But it will be costly. Even for laboratory model, it may be around 10 to 15 lakh. You have to go for some aerospace component, huge size, almost like our room size. Then it may be having few crore rupees. Again, autoclave is a closed chamber like your this oil tankers, but inside the whole composite material, raw material is kept, the pressure is applied, and as well as heat is applied. Once it is cooled, the components are taken out. These are the photographs. The vacuum bag process, the complete bag is connected to the vacuum. So now we can see these are the flexible pipes. So these flexible pipes are connected to the vacuum pump. These are the example. Now see, you can see here the complete mold is connected to vacuum. This you can see transparent bag, the transparent bag, vacuum bag. There is one more type of production process, that is filament winding process. It is almost like a lathe operation. We have mandrel. Mandrel is a hollow member. It is almost like a thread. The thread inside there is a thick paper cylinder. You can say cylinder, hollow cylinder. So over this, the thread is wound. But we can take out with some tricks. We can take out that thread roll. Thread we can keep as it is. We can take out the paper roll also. But thread it is only the reinforcement. It is not set. Then taking out will be very difficult. If you mix with reinforcement mixed with resin, once it is cured or set, so we can take out the inside cylinder or supporting member. And thread is wound or fiber is wound over the cylindrical surface. At the same time, thread is passed through the resin bath. Thread is mixed with the resin. It is wound over the cylindrical member, and it is most of the time it is regular air curing process, or polymerization takes place at room temperature. Such type of process is referred as a filament winding process. There is arrangement for rotating the cylinder. And thread is comes from the roving. It is almost like a thread roll. It is available in tailor shop or shops. It is only the cotton threads or nylon threads, but it is when it comes to composite material, those are the reinforcement material. It may be glass fiber, or it may be carbon fiber, it may be silicon carbide fiber, or it may be boron fiber. So we can see this is the cylinder. It rotates, and thread is wound over the cylinder. Before thread is supplied to the cylinder, it is already passed through the resin bath. This thread is already mixed with resin. So you can see these are the different sketches. We can see before this reinforcement wound on the cylindrical surface, hollow cylindrical surface, it is passed through the resin bath, so that we have matrix material and reinforcement material. Those are mixed together. So this is one more arrangement. So we have thread crease. These threads are stored, or reinforcement are stored in the form of crease. We can see here it is almost like a thread roll. So once it is switched on, the thread is supplied to the processing part by some small stepper motors, or it is connected to some more. You can see here these are the continuous curing oven. Once the thread is thread wetted with resin is wound over the cylinder or hollow cylinder. Some process it will be room temperature curing, where polymerization takes place at room temperature. But in some cases, we require curing at higher temperature. Then in such cases, the complete cylinder is kept inside curing oven. Oven is, I think it is almost like a microwave oven. So it is a closed chamber. It is maintained at certain temperature, that depending upon what type of resin you are using. These are the example for the mandrels, reusable mandrels. So these are the product produced by filament winding process. Even huge tankers also can be produced by filament winding process. Nowadays, gas cylinder, the LPG gas cylinder, domestic gas cylinders you are using, that is also made up of composite material. It is already in the market. Even in Bangalore, many shops it is available, especially in the private gas agencies. This is a rocket fairing mandrel. This portion, it is produced by filament winding. These are the items, especially the cylindrical members or closed chambers produced by filament winding process. It is lightweight, another advantage. So now we can see what is the size. These are the rovings or sometimes referred to the creels. So these are supplied continuously as the cylinder rotates. It will pull these threads or reinforcement before it enters. It passes through one chamber. It is referred as the resin bath. So these are the components. Some of the components used in NASA. So these are the filament winding. Then there is one more process, but mainly the filament winding is used for the cylindrical object. But we required to produce some I section, T sections beams, the steel beams. You might have studied in your first year course, that civil engineering and mechanics, the I section beams, T section beams. What beams you have in your houses or your college building? It is normally the rectangle section. But when you come to steel beams, it may be I section or it may be T section. So those can be produced, or rectangular section or a square section can be produced by one more process. That process is referred as pultrusion process. I hope everything is fine.
Yes, sir, everything is fine.
Okay. So now again in filament winding also we have resin. Then one more is reinforcement material. So those two be mixed together, or your fiber should be wetted with resin material. And finally, in general composite material, there are two raw materials. One is reinforcement material and one more is matrix material. Those two are mixed together. Then it will be processed further. When you come to polymer matrix composite, the resin and matrix material, once it is mixed, so it will be cured. Curing means there should be a perfect bonding, a bonding between the matrix material and reinforcement material. So curing is nothing but your polymerization process. The polymerization process may take place at room temperature or at elevated temperature. For curing, it may be used autoclave, already you have seen, or it may be used bag molding process. In the case of bag molding process, hot air is passed into inside the bag. So for the curing process, autoclave process, again hot air is passed in the into the autoclave. Even in the case of filament winding, this complete cylinder mandrel wound with wet fiber is kept in the curing oven that already you have seen. I think this thing one diagram I shown. This is a curing oven. In all process, most of the process, whenever you are using thermoset resin or thermoplastic resin, so curing is required. Thermoplastic resin also some amount of heating is also required. That is one of the requirements. In general production is considered. One is raw matrix material, one more is reinforcement material. They should be mixed, they should be heated if this curing temperature is not room temperature. So now again in pultrusion process also we have threads. Threads are fiber. So only arrangements are different. So these are the fiber. It is continuously comes from spools. Spools are roving, or we can say it is a creels also. Creels, spools, rovings, all are same. It is a continuous process. In the case of filament winding, once one process is complete, then you have to take out the mantle, then you have to put one more mantle. It is a discrete process, but it is a continuous process. So the spool is supplied continuously, the fiber. Before that, it is wetted through the resin tank. Here, same process. We have spools or fiber. It is wetted or bathed in resin tank. Then there are some guiding rods because the fiber should be pulled. You have to minimum require some amount of tension. Then again, it is passes through one more die. It is referred to the curing die. But in the case of filament winding, once the fibers are wound on the mandrel or hollow cylinder, then complete mandrel or hollow cylinder is taken out from the machine, then kept in a curing oven. But here arrangement is slightly differs. wherein the hot dye, this fiber, the fiber wetted with resin is passed through hot dye, where curing takes place or bonding takes place. So finally, as per our requirement, it can cut into required size. It's almost like a sheet production. The most of the sheets or plates available in the market is around standard to 1 meter width. It is produced by continuous process. So depending upon the length, so there's a puller roller. Again, we require some puller. We have to pull this fiber. We cannot push the fiber because it is bent. If you try to push, only pulling is required. Then, depending upon our requirement, you have to cut off this composite material depending upon our requirement. So this is the arrangement we can see here. Pultrusion process. I think it is available in one more manufacturing process by some good textbook. I forget that Hajrat Chaudhary or some other book. So now it is a regular process only. So it is. I will show one more diagram that is better. This is a pultrusion process. We can see here. These are the creels or roving. Everything is same. It is a collection of fiber in rovings or reels or matrax. It is almost like a sometimes it may be 2D. The reinforcement may be available in the 2D form, like our cloth. The cloth is having the reinforcement material. It is a 2D. You can say it is a 2D. Fiber is, we can say, only 1D because diameter, only length is more. Diameter is very, very small. We can neglect. But it may be available in the 2D. Then it is referred as a mat. It is almost like a regular foot mat. But foot mat, there is no matrix material. Only the cotton, maybe only cotton fiber. In the similar way, we have mat. The mat is passed through the resin bath. Normally, we use the term impregnated. Mat or fiber is impregnated with resin bath. Impregnation is nothing but, imagine you have a sponge. If you kept inside the water, the sponge is impregnated with water. This is the right term to use. Now, once you put the sponge inside the water goes inside the sponge. That is referred as the impregnation process. Then it passes through the dye as the same process, mat or it may be threads. It passes through resin bath. Then it goes to hot dye. The dye, it is maintained at higher temperature. It goes inside the dye where curing process takes place. Then it is pulled because these are the fiber reinforced with with matrix material. Then it is pulled. Then the pulling is disengaged as per our requirement. There is one more cutting saw because it is a continuous process, the moving cutting of saw. But in the examination, if you write one schematic diagram, it is sufficient. It is available in Pandit's textbook. So this is the 3D diagram. You can see here, these are the fibers are available. The fibers in the form of trees or mats. Then it passes through resin bath. This is a resin bath. Then there is a this red colored arrangement. That is nothing but a hot dye. Then it is pulled through pulling dye. Then it is cut off by using special saw. This is one more 3D diagram. These are the rovings. We can see it's almost like a thread rolls. Those thread rolls will be continuously supplied. Then to guide those thread rolls, there is a guide plate. Then it passes through resin impregnator. So impregnation is the mechanism or process in which the matrix material is mixed with resin material. Just I am given. It is dipped. Because once sponge is dipped into the water, the sponge is impregnated with resin and the water. In the similar way, you have matrix material, no, not matrix. The reinforcement material is impregnated with resin. Then it is after resin impregnator. Then we have then it goes to forming process depending upon whether you require a rectangle cross section or a square section. So depending upon that, there is a forming and curing. The curing also takes place, and there is a pulling system. Then there is a cutting saw. This is one more diagram. In the examination point of view, write only one diagram. That schematic diagram is available in the textbook. That's sufficient. These are the rovings. You can see these are thread. It is not only one thread. The row of threads are coming and entering into the resin bath. Hence, it is referred to the roving. Then there is a resin bath. Finally, there is a heating dye. So these are some of the pultruded components. Now, this is not the steel structure. The steel structure can be replaced by the polymer matrix composite. Either most of the time it is glass fiber, the reinforced composite material. glass fiber reinforced composite material, so that especially for the temporary bridges during war time, building bridges may be exploded. Then we require temporary bridges, or terrorists may explode those bridges. So in such cases, we require temporary during flooding or natural disaster. We require temporary bridges. We cannot construct steel bridges. It is heavy. You cannot carrying those in those areas. Hilly area may be difficult. That's why pultruded bridges. It's almost like a steel bridges. Everything is made up of the polymer matrix composite. So pultruded I-beam is seen in the beam, not necessarily your building beam, what you seeing in your classroom or your house. The beam may be steel, it may be made up of steel, like our amphitheater structure or canteen structure is made up of steel. Even mobile towers, it is also made up of beams or I section or T section. It is a pultruded, it is a polymer matrix composite or poly. We can see these are the structures. If you go to JC Road, you can see steel structure. These are the normally these I-beams are U sections or rectangular section, even rectangular pipes or a circular pipe, everything is available in the steel. In the similar way, these may be available in the can be produced by polymer matrix composite. It is lightweight. There's an advantage. So that is related to your pultrusion process. Pultrusion process are used. It is a continuous process. In simple, in the one side there is a roving. The roving is passed through the resin impregnator, resin bath. Then it is passed through the curing die. It is once it is cured, so then it will be cut off depending upon our requirement. Most of the time, I section, T section. This is a T. This is I section. This is again I section. Either square section, rectangular sections, beams are produced by pultrusion process. Then there is a resin transfer molding. The basic concept in polymer, this polymer matrix composite, there is one is reinforcement material, one more is resin material. So finally, depending upon our requirement, you have to prepare the mold. And finally, mold, there should be both reinforcement material as well as resin material. In the case of hand layer process, first you are putting one layer of resin, then you have one more layer of reinforcement material, then it is rolled. But in the case of resin transfer molding, you can see here, this is almost like your what mold you are studying in your casting process. The top, this is the top half of the mold, this is the bottom half of the mold, and in between there is a cavity. This is filled with resin material. This cavity, imagine we have one resin is already put, resin mat is already put, not resin mat, this is a fiber matrix, a reinforcement, dry reinforcement preform. It is after the preform. The preform is like before putting RCC, the concrete into the column, initially they will prepare the steel structure, only steel, the steel rod, vertical rod, and small rings like this arrangement. That is referred as the preform. In the case of preform, it is only reinforcement material is placed depending upon our requirement. If it is a beam, it may be rectangular preform. It is a column, circular column. It may be square. It is arranged in a square manner. So once you say preform, it has only reinforcement material. That's why it is referred as reinforcement preform. There is one more prepex. So where the reinforcement as well as matrix material is present, then it is referred as prepex. PREPEG, prepex. But if it is only reinforcement, then it is referred to the preform. You should be able to differentiate between what is preform and what is prepex. But especially autoclave or bag molding, we are using the prepex. It consists of both matrix as well as reinforcement material. The resin is semi-cured or uncured. Only during the process of production, it is cured. But here already only matrix reinforcement material is present. Then you are transferring the resin into this mold. Hence, it is referred as resin transfer molding. This is resin transfer molding. Initially, there is only reinforcement in the mold. Then resin is transferred through small cavity. Then, hence, it is referred as resin transfer molding. You can see here. This is the reinforcement material. The shaded region is dry reinforcement material. There is a vent port. There is a resin pump. through this resin pump. So your resin is pumped into the mold because some amount of pressure is also required because it's a small cavity. Then it is cured. Resin transfer molding, you can see here, resin injection molding. We have preform. This is a preform. There is one mold is referred to male mold and one more is female mold, or upper mold and bottom mold. Then in between the two mold there is a cavity. It is filled with the reinforcement material. Then resin is injected into the mold. Then it will be cured. The resin transfer molding, you can see here, this is a resin. This is a mold. Already the mold is filled with the reinforcement material. Then resin is pumped or injected into the mold. We can see here. So this is the one example. We can see here. These are the boat structure can be produced by resin transfer molding. Initially, the mold is to be produced by a suitable material. Most of the time, it will be from sand mold or some other wooden mold. Then you have to put the reinforcement material. Most of the time, it is glass fiber reinforcement material. Then you have to put the resin. You have to transfer the resin to the mold. Hence, it is referred as resin transfer mold. Again, vacuum line is required. If there is some trapped air is there, to remove that, we require some vacuum pump also. So these are the component marine propeller. The marine propeller. So even hull of advanced composite armor vehicle platform. We can the front portion. This is the propeller. So there is a pre-prex. We can already have discussed pre-prex. So it has both resin as well as reinforcement material. We can see this is the fiber. The fiber. This is the fiber. The fiber is passed through the resin bath. Then it goes to oven. After goes to oven, you can take out. It's pulled through the oven, but it consists of resin as well as reinforcement material. But it is not completely cured. It is sheets are like aluminum sheets. We can sheets like a wooden sheet. We can keep one sheet over the another sheet. You can put nail. We can make it single piece. In the similar way, we have pre-pex or pre-pex sheets. We can keep one above the other. No nailing or nut bolt system is not required. You have to keep it inside the furnace, like your autoclave or bag molding. You have to apply heat. Then two sheets are bonded together. So that is nothing but your curing process. Pre-pex means it has both reinforcement material as well as matrix material. I hope you understood the difference between pre-pex and pre-form. Pre-form, we can imagine we have in the building construction. Initially they'll put only the steel rods. They put in the vertical columns or building columns. Initially they'll put steel rods. They align in one particular direction. They'll put small rings, put it in a proper direction. Then it is after the pre-form. Pre-form means only reinforcement material. Pre-prex means it is a raw material for production of composite material. It has both matrix as well as reinforcement material, but matrix is uncured or semi-cured only during production process. So it is cured or it is heated. Like a milk is available, then you have to heat it. Like in the similar way, pre-pex is available in the market. So depending upon our requirement, you have to keep the pre-pex one above the other. Then you have to heat it to get the required component. There is one more process that is referred as this pre-pex are the raw material for compression molding. We have pre-pex we are keeping here. It is a die. You already studied your casting. Similarly, we have die for composite molding also. So you have keeping a charge. Charge means it is a pre-pex. Then you have to apply pressure as well as you have to heat it, because why we require heating is so for curing process. Your pre-pex is semi-cured. To cure 100%, we require some more heating process. This is after compression molding. You can see here, this is a compound molding. It consists of both matrix material as well as reinforcement material. You are applying pressure to remove the entrapped air, and you are applying heat also for polymerization process. Then there is some arrangement. We can reject the part. Compression mode, you can see this is the molding compound. That's the same photos, I think. You can see here thermoset or thermoplastic charge. Along with we are putting some reinforcement material also. Then it is compressed or it is pressed. So once it is pressed, you get required size and shape. then it is heated. So once it is heated or cooled, so we can, and afterwards cooling, we can eject the component by using plunger. So now we can see the compression molding component. These military boots, or it is used in our construction industries or some industries also, these are produced by the compression molding process. There is a sheet molding compound. Sheet is nothing but like an aluminum sheet or a steel sheet. We have pre-pegged sheets. Pre-pegged means it has both resin as well as matrix material. It is a semi-cured. Then those are the raw material for sheet molding component. Like if you are purchasing sheets, so then like aluminum sheets, then you can make automotive body or two-wheeler body or some whatever may be the structure. Enclosure also you can make, but basic raw material is steel, the steel sheet or aluminum sheet. But here in the case of composite production, the raw material used is pre-pregs. Then you have to for going for further curing process. Then we required heating. Then after heating and curing, you have to cut it to required size. Then it is about the sheet molding compound. So now these are some of the application of sheet molding compound. Sheet means the raw material is in the form of sheet. It is heated and cut to required size and shape once it is cured. So these are the car parts. It is produced by sheet molding process. It is a composite. It is not a metal car part, the front body. It is a composite metal body. It is produced by sheet. It is similar to aluminum sheet. There is a pre-preg sheet. It is heated and cooled, then cut to required size and shape. So there is a BM machines. That is referred to the bulk molding machine to produce the circular like a rope. So we required bulk molding machine. To produce sheet, we are referred as a sheet metal compound or pre-pregs or sheet metal sheet molding process. That's for the flat sheets. Suppose you want to produce rope or rope-like structure, then you have to go for bulk molding machine. There is an injection molding. You are familiar in casting also. You are studying about injection molding. I hope you have finished injection molding in casting. Yes or no? They studied injection molding. There are different types of molding process in the casting. And same process are used in your composite. The similar type of process used in your next module, that is you have to study rubber and plastics. You have to study some ceramic materials. So what is injection molding? One of you can tell what is the basic principle used in injection molding? I hope you studied in your casting. Casting raw material is the molten metal. You studied or not? One of you respond. If you are not studied, then I have to explain. It is a simple process. Injection molding is, imagine you already have prepared the mold. With respect to casting, you can understand better. The molten metal is ready. The molten metal is injected into the mold. It may be metal mold or it may be sand mold, like our injections. So injected into our body. So in the similar way, your molten metal is injected into the already prepared mold with high pressure. Then it is referred as the injection molding in the case of casting. But in the case of composite material, the raw material is not molten metal. The raw material is the resin along with small chopped fiber, not very long fiber. Long fiber cannot be injected into the mold. Then you have to use chopped fibers or particles or injected into the mold. Then it is after the injection molding process. You can see this is the arrangement. So your there's a is it visible? Yes or no? Is it PPT is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now there is a, so here in this area there is a matrix as well as reinforcement material. The reinforcement material is not a long fiber. it may be short fiber, or it may be in the form of particulate. It is mixed. Then the whole thing is injected into the mold. This is the mold. So you can use for injection, injecting, we cannot use pumps. In the case of your conventional casting, we can use high pressure compressor for injecting the molten metal, or you can use special pumps. But here pump will not work because it is in the solid form. If it is liquid form, then we can pump it. If it is only resin, you can pump it, or you can inject the resin into the mold. That is happening in the case of production of plastic material. In the case of production of plastic material, especially thermoset plastics, the resin is injected into the mold. But when you come to composite material, resin already there is some amount of reinforcement material. Those cannot be pumped using conventional pump because there is a solid particle also. Then you are using screw arrangement. As screw rotates, it pushes this matrix as well as resin material, resin as well as fiber into the mold. Then it is after injection mold. You can see here. So we have reinforcement as well as matrix material. It is injected into the mold. Right side part is mold. So then once part is cured and cured, we can take out those components by injecting. That's the process. It is not very simple. This is only the schematic sketch that is sufficient for your exam purpose. But in the actual process, this is the injection molding process, machine. This is it may be cost. It is a high sophisticated machine. It may be cost around 30 to 40 lakhs rupees. Now this is the basic principle involved in injection molding process. This is one more photo. This is your mold. Somewhere here, there is here in the hopper, there is a both matrix material or resin material as a fiber, short fiber or chopped fibers. That is pushed into the mold by the plunger or screw arrangement. There is a plunger or sometimes a screw arrangement. So you can see here. Here there is a raw material. It is pushed into mold. Then it is referred to injection molding. Here again, this is one more diagram. Injection molding process. This is one more photograph of injection molding process. This is a hopper. It consists of both matrix material and reinforcement material. This is a barrel. This is somewhere here mold. It is pushed. It is again, those machines are very costly, maybe around 10 to 15 lakh rupees. So now you can produce this type of compound. The boat hull, the hull of the boat, that front portion of the boat can be produced by injection molding. We require vacuum because already we have to remove some entrapped air, we require vacuum also. So don't think that it is very simple. You can see the boat hulls. It is produced by injection molding. It is a highly complex process. It's other than engineering knowledge, some amount of skill is also required. So finally, there's one more extrusion process. Like your steel rods are produced by extrusion process. There's a two operation. One is drawing operation. One more is extrusion operation. The drawing operation, the metal is hot metal, red hot metal is pulled through the die, and in the extrusion process, the hot red metal is pushed through the die. In the shops, you'll get chakuli. You can what you call, I don't know. So that is produced by extrusion process. It is raw material is pushed through small narrow cavities. It is a extrusion process. But steel wires are produced like a telephone wires or electrical cables are produced by drawing operation. So again, this is one more diagram. Thermoforming process where heat is applied. First, you have to keep the sheet mold compound. Sheet mold compound means it's a prepex. You have to keep it above the mold. You have to apply pressure as well as you have to apply heat. Once you apply heat, it is we can bend into the required size and shape. It is almost like a metal. Once metal is heated, you can bend into required size and shape. Then it can be cured by heating process. The prepex you can see here. These are the tapes. These are prepex tapes. It consists of both matrix and reinforcement material. It's a NASA. They are also producing prepex for some space application. The blow molding process. Most of the blow molding process. Again, what are the process we are studying? In composite material, the same molding process you are studying in your casting process also. The same molding process you are used in your polymer. There is plastics and ceramics you have to study. For same molding process are used in the plastics also. So once you are able to understand what is blow molding, the most of the bottles Like your water bottles are produced by blow molding process, where the raw material is blown into the mold. That's why it is referred as a blow molding. Sometimes raw materials are injected into the molding, then it is referred as injection molding. The blow molding means the raw materials are blown into the mold, hence it is referred as a blow molding process. There is a thermoforming process. We have sheets. The sheet is bent and cured in the mold. The finally this type of components are produced by thermoforming process. We can see here. This is the plastic sheet. So here it is a, if it is plastic molding, it is a plastic sheet, but it is a composite material. It is a composite sheet, semi-cured sheet. Then it is heated. Then you are applied some amount of pressure. It is bent into required size and shape. So the thermoforming patterns, we require patterns similar to your casting process. We require patterns. It may be metal pattern or wooden pattern, because what you see in here, for this type of application, we require pattern. So this is the, suppose we want to make the car body, front portion of the car body, then we require a pattern of similar shape. This is, I think, already we have studied about spray lab process. So for spraying, we can use robots also, robotic spraying machine. That will finishes your polymer matrix composite. Then I will go back to those are not entered your USN number. Enter your USN number. So metal matrix composite. Those who are already studied in detail about casting process. The metal matrix composite is easy. So in the regular casting process, the difference between your metal matrix composite and your casting process is, I'll open the slide. So as already you studied the casting process, in the casting process, what you are doing is only the metal is melted and you are adding the alloying element, like a copper nickel alloy. So copper is melted and nickel, around 1% or 2% nickel is added. And this nickel is occupies dissolved by the copper. So I am using the term dissolving. The dissolving in the sense, we have a unit cell structure, let it be simple cubic structure. The nickel atom will go and occupy, replace one atom of the copper, and it occupy some particular position. It is referred as dissolving. So that is the difference between alloying and composite material. So you are reinforced in the case of alloying element. The alloying element goes into the unit cell, like your carbon atom in the case of FC steel. The carbon will, once carbon is added, it goes at interstitial spaces of iron and it occupies. But carbon is not a separate layer. After adding carbon more than 6.5%, then all interstitial spaces will be filled by carbon. Then the carbon will go, there is no further the carbon entering into the space. Then carbon will be in the separate layer. Like what I am given the same example. You imagine you have the box. It has some, let it be cricket ball. You are putting some amount of sand. All in intermediate space, interstitial spaces or in between spaces will be filled with the sand. Once everything is filled, so then the sand will be the separate layer at the top. If you go on adding sand, the sand will be the topmost portion. It is sand is a separate layer. The bottom there is a ball, and top ball along with the sand. Top there is only the sand. But sand is separate phase, and bottom there is like a composite metal. It is a separate phase. But in the case of aluminum alloy, once you say alloying, you are melting the base metal. You are adding alloying element. The alloying element will occupy the interstitial spaces, or it may substitute some amount of carbon or some amount of some base metal, and it will occupy the crystal structure or unit cell structure. It is not a separate phase, but In the case of composite material, imagine you have RCC. If you cut the beam and if you see the structure, the steel is separate phase and concrete is separate phase. But if you see the steel, if we cut only the steel, we cannot see only the carbon phase, we cannot see only the steel Fe phase. Imagine you have the steel material, let it be regular carbon steel. If you cut the carbon steel, we cannot identify this is the in this region there is only carbon, in this region there is only steel, because the carbon is dissolved by Fe at interstitial spaces. But when you come to composite, it has two phases. One is matrix phase. It has distinct physical properties like a steel. It has distinct mechanical properties. Your distinct chemical properties. Steels having different chemical formula. But when you come to concrete, it is different phase. It has different mechanical properties. It has different chemical composition. Those are another phases. The steel is one phase. It is a reinforcement phase, and concrete is one more phase. That is the difference between the composite material and alloying element. If you cut the steel, you cannot identify only the this area there is only carbon, this area only steel. It is not like that. So it is almost your metal matter composite is almost like your conventional casting process. And in the conventional casting process, we are adding the alloying element. Alloying element is dissolved by the parent metal or base metal, and it will become single entity. But in the case of composite material, it will not become single entity. So there are two phases. One is matrix phase, and one more is reinforcement phase. The matrix phase is totally distinct phase. Reinforcement, again, it is a distinct phase, like your concrete, the RCC. The steel is separate distinct phase, and concrete is, again, it is a distinct phase. So that is the difference between your conventional casting process and production of metal matter composite. In the next class, tomorrow again we have class. Tomorrow I am going to finish composite material, this metal matter composite, as well as the ceramic matrix composite, because metal matter composite already we studied about metals, how it is casted. The similar type of process are used, so that I can go a little bit faster. Tomorrow I'm going to finish your metal matter composite as well as the ceramic matrix composite. Okay, today I'll stop. But tomorrow you'll get tomorrow I have one regular class as well as one more mathematical class. If there is a time is available, I'll do some numerical problems on the composite material. So okay, thanks. I think those are not entered, please enter your USN number. I'm going to stop recording. Those are not entered. I hope everyone is entered. Those are not entered. Please enter your USN number. Once I stop recording, your USN number will not be identified. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow.